Are you missing out on $524.31 a month for VA disability compensation? Well, if you are, it sounds like you do not have plantar fasciitis. Stay tuned, we'll get on into the schedule of ratings for it and how you can get your claim approved. Hey y'all, how's it going? And welcome back to Drop Ramp Info, where today we're covering the schedule of ratings for plantar fasciitis with a high disability percentage of 30%. That will get your claim moving. So stay tuned and we'll break it down for you black and white from the 38 CFR Chapter 1 Part 4 and explain what the VA raters are looking for when it comes to your claim. There's 3 rating percentages for plantar fasciitis, but before I get into them, you guys need to have 3 things ready to go. You need to have a current diagnosis, an in-service event, and a medical nexus linking that event to your diagnosis. Okay, so if you've been out for less than a year, you should already have your medical records and be looking to file for VA disability claims. If you guys have been out longer than a year, well, it's time to gather the medical evidence that you've been seeing from the VA. Use that to file your claim. If you have that medical evidence and you don't have a medical nexus, sounds like you need to pay for one. So go get your private doctor to write your medical nexus for all those things you were seen for through the VA if you've been complaining about your feet, and look into filing for plantar fasciitis. First up, plantar fasciitis is going to have 3 rating percentages, and here they are as follows. Number 1, you have no relief from both surgical or non-surgical means in both feet. That will yield a high disability rating of 30%. And this is the maximum rating for plantar fasciitis and what you should be looking for when trying to increase your total percentages or just getting points on the board if you haven't done so yet. And I will explain later why this 30% is such a big deal. The next rating schedule comes in at 20% for no relief from surgical and non-surgical means for 1 foot. So, the same thing as before, however, instead of a bilateral condition where it's in both feet, you only have it in 1 foot. That will yield a 20% rating. And moving on to the last rating, this will yield you 10% if you have plantar fasciitis and none of the above apply, which means surgical and non-surgical means have indeed helped your foot, but you still have the disability. However, there is a note in the 38 CFR that states, with the loss of use of the foot, rate the veteran at 40%. So if you have the loss of use of the foot, it will get rated at 40%. Let's discuss why this 30% rating I previously stated is so important. A veteran who is rated at 30% or above is now eligible to be granted dependence on their VA disability claim. We are talking about a spouse, kids, or even your parents in some instances. While this monthly addition isn't huge, it is still an additional amount that is payable out to the veteran. This comes out to an additional $62 for your spouse and $31 per child. That is an important factor when filing these VA disability claims, is that you need to be looking at things that pay. If you can get 30% on the board, you are now eligible to file for dependents, and you should. And bonus info, if you guys are filing for plantar fasciitis, keep in mind that you more than likely have pes planus, which I stated previously in another video. If you're filing for pes planus and plantar fasciitis together on the same claim, you will not be eligible to receive both ratings. The VA will pay out the higher of the two. For example, if you have a 50% for flat foot or pes planus, the VA will not add an additional 30% for plantar fasciitis on top of your 50% rating for your pes planus or flat foot. Just some food for thought. Keep it in mind. Well, thanks for tuning in to Drop Ramp Intel, and I appreciate y'all's time. If this video helped you out, please leave a like and subscribe. It'll help push this information out to more veterans that are looking to increase their VA disability ratings or just get points on the board in general. And for now, ramp up, Redcon 1, we rolling out.